What's up, guys? It's Wally. Today we're going to be doing some battles with an Entrainment Pyroar. So I don't think it's any secret that Pyroar really isn't used much in this game. And I'm not just talking about a Regulation F, but I'm talking about the entire history of Scarlet Violet VGC. And it makes sense too, because its stats aren't necessarily eye-popping. I mean, I think its best ones are Special Attack and Speed, which are 109 and 106 respectively. So again, not bad, respectable, but definitely not at the level of something like Fluttermane or Chi-Yu. Plus, it has a hidden ability that doesn't really make sense for it. I mean, its hidden ability is Moxie, which ends up raising your attack stat by one stage every single time you knock out a Pokemon. However, Pyroar is a special attack Pokemon. So how do we end up using Moxie? We end up using Entrainment. So Entrainment is a move that pretty much, when it ends up going into a certain Pokemon, it pretty much just gives them Moxie. So it'll end up giving them whatever the ability of Pyroar is. And obviously in this case it's Moxie. And the main reason for that is because we have Regigigas on this team. And that thing has slow start. And we want to find any way possible to get rid of that. And Entrainment with Moxie, I think, is a really good option for it. Because you always want to give it something that is really going to benefit it. And Moxie is definitely something that'll benefit Regigigas because it is a really strong attacker. So if you're able to get a +1 every time you end up knocking out a Pokemon, that thing becomes pretty much unstoppable. So even though Pyroar doesn't really benefit from the Moxie for itself, it'll definitely help out Regigigas. And even if you want to do that into something like Baxcalibur or Ogerpon while it has the Water Absorb, you can always do that too and always allow them to end up getting a +1 if they knock out a Pokemon. And also with Baxcalibur, because it does have Thermal Exchange, if you don't want to switch that out and give it Moxie, you can always keep the Thermal Exchange and you can go Will-O-Wisp onto it. It's not going to burn Baxcalibur because of its ability, and it's going to give it a +1. So it's kind of like giving it a Moxie, but not having to knock out a Pokemon for it. So that's the other benefit to Pyroar too, which is why I think that Will-O-Wisp, especially on a team with Baxcalibur, is going to be really beneficial too. And we know that Pyroar is going to outspeed Baxcalibur for sure, unless we're in Trick Room, so I think it's really good to have those two out there. But really, the main thing we're going to be focusing on is the Entrainment with the Moxie onto Regigigas to be able to take away the slow start. So I'm really excited to get into these battles and see if we can end up doing it. So we'll get into them, but before we do, as always, if you guys are new here, just haven't yet, please make sure to go down and hit the subscribe button. If you guys do enjoy the video, please make sure to drop a like too. Well, let's get into the battles. Here's a matchup that could actually be pretty decent for Pyroar. I mean, obviously they do have Heatran, so we are going to have to worry about that, but so we won't be able to go for a fire move, and if we do go for a, like the Hyper Voice is like a normal move, it's not going to do much damage, but in all honesty, we have other Pokemon that will be able to take care of it. So I am more than happy with dealing with that. So here's what we're going to do. Let's end up starting Pyroar. Let's go Gigas, of course. And then in the back, I'm going to end up bringing Baxcalibur mainly for the Dragon, the Grass, and all that kind of stuff. The Flying too. Plus we do a Priority, which is always nice as well. And then in the back, I'm going to bring Ogerpon as well, because that's going to be pretty good for Redirect too. Yeah, I think that's good too. And then if they end up terastallizing out of Fire, at least we have other things that would pick up their more common Terra types. So I feel like that's a good lead here. I want to see if we can get that Entrainment off, and I want to see what this can actually do for us. Okay, Comfey and Heatran, that's fair. So I'm guessing this one is going to be Screens. That's my guess, at least. So let's end up going for the Entrainment over into Regigigas. And let's go for that Heavy Slam over into Comfey. Now, we should be... Well, although... They are going to have the priority if they end up going with a healing move. But other than that, we might be... Yeah, which they do. Okay, going for the Draining Kiss. That's fair. It's fine. We'll get the Entrainment. We'll get Moxie. And then we'll end up knocking out Comfey, which will give us a +1. And that's going to be pretty nice here. Well, maybe not quite. But you know what? Ooh, Rocky Helmet too. Nice, got that little bit of bulk in there too. Although dropping the special defense isn't great, but we do end up getting our berry, so we'll heal up a little bit. And that means like a Draining Kiss or anything that Comfey would have that would be a healing move, like a what's the name of that? Like Giga Drain or something like that. Wouldn't be able to knock out Pyroar at this point. Here's what we're going to do. really don't want to knock out Comfey with Pyroar, only because... although, you know what we can do? No, well, we don't want to do that, because then we'd... Actually, no, I don't mind that. We're actually going to go in for Entrainment over into Heatran as well. I guess just for the hell of it, let's go for a Drain Punch. Get the Synthesis, that's fair. That's fine, there we go. They are no longer Flash Fire, so if we decide to go with a Fire move over there, it's not going to matter too much. There we go, good damage there. We'll end up healing up pretty much all the way back up. Almost, but almost there. Yep, they're going to knock out Pyroar this time. And that's okay. They're going to get that boost to attack, but as you can see, they're special attackers, so... Not a big deal right there. So let's end up going for... let's go for Ogerpon here. They may end up terastallizing on this one, but that'll be alright. I'll still go for the Ivy Cudgel over there. And let's go for the Heavy Slam over to Comfey. Hopefully then we can end up picking up our +1 with the Moxie, and then we can actually start to run the table. Alright, but honestly, Pyroar did its... Pyroar did its job. Now, if we would have ended up bringing Chi-Yu as opposed to Baxcalibur... Oh, that's fine. We'll still be able to take it out with an Ivy Cudgel, I believe. Ooh, yeah, we should. We should. Yeah, let's go. Cool. Wasn't 100% sure, but I figured possibly. Very nice. And we'll get the Heavy Slam. We'll end up picking up the +1 because of the Moxie. Despite the Rocky Helmet. But we'll be good. Now we're a little bit stronger. And now we have Redirect out there to be able to kind of push the attention away from Regigigas here. So as long as they don't have spread moves, Gigas is in for a pretty good time right here. Well, that's a spread move. But that is not. Cool. Pretty happy about that. Now, Baxcalibur realistically can be the one to take care of them, although they may save their Terra for that, though. So here's what we're going to do, is we're going to go for the Follow Me. I don't think I'm going to go for the Fairy Terra yet. Yeah, we're probably going to end up terastallizing into Fairy, though, just to avoid Dragon moves. That, or depending on what they end up doing, we could end up saving that Terra for... yeah, potentially for Baxcalibur. Here's what we'll do. We'll stay that way, and let's Body Slam up into Thundy. They're honestly the one that I'm probably more worried about at this point right now, because... Well, hold on, because if that's electric, which it is, that might be a little more worrisome. But in all honesty, we have an electric Terra as well, and so we'll be able to do some really good stuff with that too. And the electric over with Baxcalibur. Ooh, the electric terrain though. Okay. That's totally fair. Good damage. Ooh, the rising voltage. Love that, actually. We lose Ogerpon. That is unfortunate, don't get me wrong, but hey, that's okay. Here's all we do now. Here's all we have to do, and I think this is going to be... I think this will be enough to really kind of take care of them. We're going to go with an Ice Shard. Let's Terra. Let's go for the Ice Shard. And let's go for the Body Slam and a Raging Bolt. They may go for the Thunderclap here, but I think that we... I think that we have enough bulk here to be able to withstand it. That's going to be the main thing. scary face. You know what? That's fine, because, again, we have priority right here. And I'm happy with that. Goodbye, Thundy. And now all we have is just a 2-on-1 now. And hopefully these two can really take care of it. Nice! No Thunderclap. We're not going to be able to, I don't think, get a para here. Obviously because of a couple things, but that's fine. Rising Voltage. Yep, something we had to worry about anyways. But still, Gigas did enough damage over there to really kind of put him in range of being taken out by an Icicle Spear. And we're going to resist their strongest moves because of the Electric, and obviously the Dragon move isn't going to be super effective. It's going to be neutral now, so we should be able to take care of it here with an Icicle Spear. That's understandable. Alright, let's see it though. Yeah, again, this should be more than enough, especially with the loaded dice. We should be able to kind of take them out with... Should only be about 3, to be completely honest with you. Really, realistically. Let's see what they end up doing, though. Ooh, going Draco. Wow. A 1 crit, we would have been donezo. But man, yeah, that booster special attack. Yeah, we definitely chose the right one to end up terastallizing then. Oh man, thankfully we were able to hang on with 7 HP there. But really, again, Pyroar did its job right there by doing Entrainment and also kind of taking a little focus away from them as well. But with the Moxie Regigigas, able to kind of sweep there. Good game. Now this one might be a little tough for Pyroar, to be completely honest with you, because of the fact that that may be a Rapid Strike Urshifu and the fact that they do a Basket Legion as well. Now the good thing here is that we do have Will-O-Wisp with Pyroar too, and that means that we could potentially go for a Tailwind and maybe burn Urshifu before they're able to do anything. And so that'll be my hope here. So let's lead off with those two. Plus, with Whimsicott, we could always end up changing the weather too, in case they end up going with the Rain Dance to start off. But let's go with those two. And then in the back, I'm actually going to bring Ogerpon. And I think I'm going to leave Gigas at home. And I'm actually going to bring Baxcalibur. Main reason being, like, again, we do end up having Will-O-Wisp over on Pyroar. So again, kind of like I mentioned earlier, having the Will-O-Wisp means we could end up using that into Baxcalibur. And because of the thermal exchange, not only do we not get burnt, but we also get a +1 to our attack. So... that's kind of why I want to send them both out there, too. I know we're not going to get the Entrainment, really, but if we want to, though, in all honesty, we honestly could probably Entrain one of our Mons, too, considering the fact that they don't have any Fire, and I don't think they would be using a Fire move, so if we end up getting, like, a... like one Will-O-Wisp onto ourselves before we end up using Entrainment, we can get a +1, then give ourselves Moxie as well, but... we'll see what ends up happening. Let's end up starting with the Tailwind, though. And I'm actually going to start with a... I'm going to start with the Flamethrower over into Fluttermane. I'm going to do a little bit of damage over there. That would actually be pretty nice, to be honest. That way we can end up kind of finishing it out with a... nice. With an Ice Shard. Now they go Tailwind or they go Rain Dance. Oh, just going for Taunt. That's fair too. I can't be upset at that. There we go. Nice. And we get the burn. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. A little bit of residual never hurt anyone. Oh, but the Icy Wind did. Oh, poor Whimsicott. Nice. Alright, here's what we're going to end up doing. They're going to end up going for a Tailwind here. I think we know that for a fact. But here's the good thing. is nothing that Fluttermane really typically has is really going to do much to Pyroar, because Fire is going to resist the Fairy, and we're normal, so we're not going to take any damage from Ghost. Well, it is unfortunate. I think we might have to swap out here. Hate to do it, but let's do that. Let's go into Ogerpon. And, problem is Hyper Voice ain't going to do much. Or ain't going to do anything over into Fluttermane, so it would actually be worth it to go for the Flamethrower just over there. And we're just going to do a little bit of damage each. Because the good thing is they're probably going to end up putting up Tailwind here. And they'll probably end up going for like a Dazzling Gleam or something. Maybe they go for an Icy Wind again. That's always possible. They do! Nice. Ogerpon avoids it. That's actually good for us. That's actually really good for us. Pyroar's just getting slower and slower, though. Good damage? Oh, imagine a second burn. That would have been great. Let me think about this. In all honesty, I think it might just be worth it to go for the Horn Leech over there. And, I also could have went for Entrainment up into Torn as well. That way we could have taken away the Prankster, but no, we'll be fine. Let's just go back with the Flamethrower over there. And let's just do some damage and see if we can KO. Or they're going to bring in someone else. Who are we doing a fire move into? Let's hope we can get a burn on Iron Hands. That would actually be really nice. It's fair, we're going to do a little damage, but we're going to get that all back from the Horn Leech. Now, please, can we get this? No, not that. I knew we were going to get that, but can we please get this burn here? That would be so ideal. So ideal. And it's a good thing we didn't go Entrainment, because I don't think we can actually take away, like, the Quark Drive. Although I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. Good damage, though. And you can... Good damage, and you can also tell that that they are not AV, because that, or at least they shouldn't be AV, because that is a lot of damage coming from Pyroar, who really only has 4 EVs in their special attack. Although that base, although that base 10-something special attack really isn't that bad though. So I'm going to go back into Whimsicott here. And we're going to try for the Will-O-Wisp over there. We may end up losing Pyroar, which would be upsetting. But if we can find a way to get a Will-O-Wisp over there first, that would be really great. Question is, what do they do? The good thing about bringing in Whimsicott here is the fact that if they do go for a fake out, we can always encore them into it. We can't encore the Detect though, which is unfortunate, but well, we're not even going to have to worry about that now, will we? Alright, that's fine. Even burnt, that's going to do a lot of damage. Strong stab move, I totally understand that. Tailwind's gone, unfortunately, but we'll be fine. Okay, so here's the thing is, based on those interactions right there, that's gotta be a Focus Sash over on Urshifu. So I think what we're gonna end up doing, we're going to have to put the Tailwind back up, so let's do that. I'm going to Terrastalize into Electric. I'd love to go Scale Shot, but I don't want to lower our defense, and I also want to guarantee that we're actually going to hit. So if this thing doesn't have a lot invested in defense, if we get 5 hits, it's possible we could KO. Possible. Possible. And the Terrastalization here, is to basically make it so that we end up... Oh boy. So that we end up resisting... Or not resisting, but making fighting neutral. And it looks like they're just going to go for that. It's possible they end up going for a Sucker Punch then. Oh boy. It's going to be a little rough, but that's okay. Again, since Iron Hands is burnt, I'm not extremely worried about it. I'm not worried about it, but I'm not incredibly worried about it. So we'll get the Tailwind. We should go first if they didn't go Sucker Punch. That's... okay, my bad. I need to look at what my speed is. Oh boy, that's rough. 3, 4. Can we get all 5? We do! Good damage, though. Good damage. Happy with that. Happy with that. Not with that, though. That's alright. Still burnt, though, so again, I'm not incredibly worried about them. Oh, they still had Tailwind. So sorry, I totally forgot that ours was staggered. No wonder why. That makes a lot more sense now. Alright, Alright, we're gonna go for the Follow Me on this one. And, because that'll take away the, Sucker Punch here. Although, to be completely honest with you, because of the way that we're going to outspeed because we have the Tailwind, our Ice Shard would go first. So here's what we're going to do, is we're going to go for the Ivy Cudgel, we're going to take out Hands, and we're going to go for the Ice Shard and take out... okay, that's understandable, but we're going to end up taking out them. Beautiful. I get that, but we're going to be able to take them out right here. Yeah, and we have another turn, so they're going to have to get a double protect if they want to outspeed. Oh boy. Okay, well maybe I was wrong on that. Here's what we're going to end up doing, because we do have the speed over the both of them right now because of the Tailwind. And we have it for 2. So I'm gonna go for the Ivy Cudgel over there. And I'm gonna go for the Ice Shard up there so they don't get the Tailwind. Nice. We should be able to take out Iron Hands too. I'm hoping. Although maybe not, because they did end up getting their stats back to normal, because they did do that one close combat. But we'll see. That's fair. But they were still burnt, so that ends up taking them out. Woo, that was a close one. I'm glad we ended up getting that burn with Pyroar, right? Go figure. We ended up getting 2 of them, too. And that's actually more than I've had with Chi-Yu in the last, like, month, so... You know what, I'm not upset about it. Alright, now all we have to do is just double protect here. Let's do that. Let's go Ice Shard. And there we go. We end up getting the win. And even though we didn't end up getting the chance to go with Entrainment with anyone, with the Moxie, it still ended up being really beneficial in the end. We ended up getting 2 burns, got some residual damage, and as you saw, ended up being the thing to kind of take out Hands there. So we ended up getting the win. Good game. We see a couple of issues here because of the Registeel. We really only have Chi-Yu and Pyroar is really our main special attackers. Since it is Steel, the Moonblast from Whimsicott really isn't going to do much, so I'm not even going to count them. But we also do see that they don't have Tailwind. That's a big positive for us. So let's end up starting with Pyroar. Let's go with Regigigas as well. We're going to bring Chi-Yu in the back, and we're also going to bring... yeah, in all honesty, I think it's got to be Ogerpon as well. And Whimsicott wouldn't be horrible just from the standpoint of we can end up going with like Encore and stuff like that. We'd be able to set up Tailwind, so we definitely outspeed everyone. And a couple things like that. But honestly, I like these 4 in terms of, like, you know, I guess overall synergy against these guys. Yep, Grimmsnarl and Fluttermane. That's not the lead that we're really kind of hoping for Regigigas, but... Actually, in all honesty, that's not too bad, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I forget, we are normal type with Pyroar as well, so we're not going to have to worry about the ghost, obviously. So let's go for the Entrainment into Regigigas. They're probably going to end up putting up a screen. So let's just go for the Heavy Slam over into Fluttermane. And if we can get a +1 right off the bat with that, that would be really incredible. Ooh, they could end up going for a Fake Out, though, now that I'm thinking about it. But in all honesty, we'll be alright here. Yeah, there's a Reflect, so I don't know if we end up knocking out Fluttermane here, but we'll do some damn good damage, though. Okay, so we outspeed their Fluttermane, or... okay, or Parasong. That works too, I guess. Ooh, almost, though. Almost. Well, that's unfortunate. I think I'm going to end up going for the, I don't want to take away the potential boost for Regigigas, though. Alright, here's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to go for a... We'll go for a Flamethrower over there. Let's go for the Heavy Slam over there, too. I was just so fixated on trying to get a boost with the Moxie. That's okay, though. Yeah, Heavy Slam ain't going to do much. But thankfully, we have the Clear Amulet, which isn't going to lower our attack. So, we'll take that. That Thunder Wave doesn't help us, though. That's a little rough. Maybe we can get a burn right here, though. Good damage. But no. It's fine. Here's what we end up doing, then. Because we definitely have to swap Regigigas out. We're going to go for the Hyper Voice, even though we may get faked out. And, let's bring in Chi-Yu. I think that's going to be the safer one. That Thunder Wave is going to be a little worrisome, though, if I'm being honest with you. It's a great form of speed control, to be honest. Good damage again. Ooh, knocking off our Scarf. Not great. Oh, and Low Kick. Ooh, okay. Okay, buddy. Alright, we're going to have to swap out Pyroar, though, unfortunately. Let's bring back in Regigigas, though. So let's do that, and... let's go for the Heat Wave, too. That'll be the best thing against Grimmsnarl. And actually, I guess technically it doesn't matter because now we're going to be... we're not Choice Scarf anymore, so we can use whatever we want. Alright, we should end up knocking out Fluttermane. We do. Good stuff. We're going to have to obviously bring back out... that's fair. Bring back out Pyroar because we're going to have to go Entrainment one more time. That's not too bad. We're still holding the Clear Amulet right here, so it's not like that's something we necessarily have to worry about right this second. Nice. Love that. So here's what we're going to end up doing. We're going to end up going for the Protect here. And let's bring back in Pyroar. I don't think there's anything that either of them are going to do to that slot that's going to be able to knock them out right here, right now, you know? So that'll preserve Regigigas here. They're not going to get knocked off or anything like that. Not going to get faked out or anything. So we're good from that perspective. We're going to be able to reset Chi-Yu. They're going to go back to normal with their special attack. So we can always end up going back out with Heat Wave, Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, anything like that. Because again, at this point, since they knocked off our Choice Scarf, not going to matter. And now we get to see what their Terra is. Chances are probably Water. I would assume. Or not. My bad. That is Dragon. That's fine. Dark Pulse is going to be able to take care of that. Couldn't get the Protect. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go for the Drain Punch and obviously the Entrainment as well. That's not good. Do they have Amnesia and what's the other? Amnesia and Iron Defense. That's it. Because that would not be good for us, to be honest with you. And in this case, it would have been great to bring Baxcalibur. That would have been really nice. Or there you go. Now, even though we're parried, is that enough to be able to outspeed? Nope. Ooh, they knock off our berry, but we still hang in there. That's positive. Yeah, they have both. That's not ideal. Wow. Man. So let's go Drain Punch again. And let's go for a Will-O-Wisp over there. That's going to limit their physical damage output. Even with something like the Body Press, which takes the defense into account, not the attack, that's still going to have the damage with the burn. So that's ideally what's going to happen right here. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. A little upset that we've been parried 2 times in a row, but... And now they're allowed to do that. Now, if this is... Oh, I forgot they stole Grimmsnarl. My bad. Sorry, still neutral hit, though. Nice, we get that. That'll be a big help. Pick that up with the Heavy Slam. Okay. 3 in a row, man. Talk about real hacks right there. Alright, well, this is bad. We're gonna have to bring out Ogerpon here. Only because I can't risk them putting up a light screen right now. So let's try for the Heavy Slam. And let's go for a Spiky Shield. Nice. Too bad that doesn't make contact, you know? Alright, not enough to KO, though. Hey! We actually did something! Let's go. Alright, let's see here now. Nice, we get that +1 finally. About time. Let's go. Yeah, but still got that burn, so I'm happy about that. That's going to actually take away their chance to heal. Oh, the Reflect's gone now, too. Beautiful. Yeah, I was going to be afraid that if we ended up sending Chi-Yu out there, they would have ended up going for a... Oof. Yeah, they would have ended up going for a light screen. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're kind of, I hate to say it, but we're kind of forced to move with both. So let's go with the Drain Punch over there. And let's also go with the Ivy Cudgel over there. That's fine, we know. Yeah, I wasn't going to waste my Terra on that, though, to be completely honest with you. Alright, here's what we're going to do now. Because the positive thing is we do have Redirect, and we have Chi-Yu as well, and they do not have a light screen. So, even though they do have Amnesia, that's going to be, yeah, it's going to be really rough, but, we'll figure this out, though. We'll figure this out. So let's go with the... I'm going to go with the Terra here. And we're going to go for the Dark Pulse over there. And we're also going to go for the Ivy Cudgel right there. So we'll end up taking them out. And we're going to hopefully call their Body Press over into Chi-Yu. Although they may not do that. They may not do that, but either way. You know, it's funny to think, this actually would have been a great one to bring Whimsicott. I said how the Moonblast wasn't going to do much, but hey, it actually would have done some good stuff right here. Good stuff, actually. Nice. So we end up picking that up, and now we got a 2-on-1. Along with Redirect, too. And they are burnt, so again, the... there we go. So the Body Press isn't going to do, you know, a ton of damage over into Ogerpon, and even the Heavy Slam, despite the fact that it's going to be strong because they are much heavier than Chi-Yu, still going to do a ton because of the burn. Let's go. We got Dark Pulse. Let's go with the Follow Me. And that's fine. We'll end up taking the Body Press. Won't be ideal, but we'll be fine. Hopefully they go for the Heavy Slam. They do. Nice. And it ain't going to do much. Yep. And of course, Chi-Yu is going to be our ticket to success, really, in this one, because Ogerpon only has water and grass, and needless to say, into a dragon, ain't going to do much. And there we go. Yeah, they knew that they would have had to keep going either Body Press or Heavy Slam. Body Press ran the risk of going into a Spiky Shield and all that kind of good stuff. So either way, we end up coming out with a victory there. I'm glad we were able to get the Entrainment twice, but unfortunately it didn't help out too much, only because we ended up getting fully paired for 3 of those turns that we actually had the Entrainment active. So again, didn't help out from that perspective, but again, if we weren't fully paired on those turns, it definitely would have made a difference, but either way, still came out with a win, so I'm pretty happy. Good game. So even though Pyroar essentially got the Keldeo treatment from Pokemon, where it gave it an ability that raised the attack stat that it didn't necessarily excel in, you can still find a way to make it work for you. And that's why Entrainment on Pyroar is so beneficial, and especially out there with Regigigas as well. It's nice because you really want to find a way to take away that slow start, and if you can give it an ability that really helps it out a lot, like Moxie does, where it gives it a +1 to its attack every time it knocks out a Pokemon, it's extremely useful, and why I think that Pyroar and Regigigas are actually a pretty good combination. I know I've done videos before about Grafaiai as well as Whimsicott as a good pairing with Regigigas, with both the Doodle and the Worry Seed, but honestly, again, giving it something like Moxie where you know you're going to be giving it that ability, again, is so beneficial. And even though Moxie isn't going to benefit Pyroar because it is a special attacker, it's definitely going to help out Regigigas. And if you want to end up doing that into Baxcalibur as well, if you don't see any fire Pokemon out there, you can definitely do that too. And even if you want to keep the Thermal Exchange, again, with Pyroar, with the Will-O-Wisp, you can always go for the Will-O-Wisp in the Baxcalibur. It's not going to end up getting burnt, and you're going to get that +1 to your attack. So again, Pyroar, despite the fact that it doesn't have eye-popping stats, is still a really great Pokemon to have out there, and one that really benefits a lot of the Pokemon on this team. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the battles. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like, and we'll see you guys next time.